All right, welcome back to Juba Forensics PLC, the YouTube channel. Today we're going to do something a little different, a little bit of a longer format. This is a presentation I gave recently to a business association for a lot of small business owners. So today is going to be focused on 5 things that every small business should know from a perspective of a CPA and a CFE, doing both CFO level work and fraud prevention. So I do want to take a second just to pause in case you're new to my channel as to just talk about who I am really quick. So my name is Gabby. I was born and raised in New Jersey. All my family still lives in New Jersey, except for my sister who lives near me. I live in Brevard, North Carolina, which is in the mountains of Western North Carolina. My brother is active duty Air Force and is currently stationed overseas. I played clarinet professionally in the Marine Corps for about 5 years. I finished up my doctorate this year in 2025. I served as the CFO for Transylvania County Schools for about 2.5 years. I ran a budget of $60 million, 23 employees, and 9 schools underneath me. I was one of the youngest people in the state of North Carolina to ever hold that title. I was 28 years old when I picked up that job role. Forensic accounting has always been a love of mine since I took on my first case back in 2018. It was an elderly fraud and abuse case, and that is absolutely, I have YouTube videos about that. If they're not posted already, they are in the works and coming to you. So, what I love to do is to combine team building with financial strategy and fraud prevention to really help organizations thrive across the board. And a couple of quick fun facts about me: I love doing lots of things. I love backpacking and hiking and running half marathons and triathlons. I attend music festivals and raves. I love to dance. I do all different types of dance. Ever since I was 2 years old, I've been in all different types of dance. I homestead and I garden. I love volunteering. So I volunteer with the Veterans Healing Farm, not only at the farm, but teaching classes and on their board as well. I volunteer with the Marine Junior ROTC program and in Transylvania County. I chaperone their trips. I teach a free weekly yoga class. I give talks when they want me to the kids. I love traveling and adventuring, whether that's traveling locally or internationally. I went whitewater rafting for the first time this year and skydiving. So, just all the things. I also knit and I love to read. And I finished my first book draft in 2025. I'm working on getting myself a literary agent to get that published. So, stand by for a book maybe coming in 2026. So we will dive right into the topic that I have today, which is 5 things that all small business owners should know or should be looking for. So the first one that I've got is that fraud affects everyone. It affects all organizations, all sizes, big, small, for profit, non for profit, government, public, private. Everybody falls victim to fraud. Nobody is immune to it. It is estimated that 5% of all revenue is lost to fraud on a yearly basis, which totals more than $5 trillion every single year across the globe. So, how can you protect yourself? How do you protect your profit and your assets? Make that a part of your yearly planning. Take a look at what are you doing to prevent fraud and review it. What are your risks? How are you preventing those risks from occurring within your organization? And what can you do to tweak or improve that going forward? Another really good tip is the one of the best ways to mitigate fraud is internal controls. And internal controls can look different for every business, depending on your what industry you're in, what size you are. So I can't go too deep down the rabbit hole of mitigating it, but multiple sets of eyes on everything makes a difference. So you don't want one person taking all your cash to the bank, taking cash from the customers, writing up the deposit slip, taking it to the bank, then putting it into your accounting software system. That leaves a lot of room for fraud. At any of those stages, fraud can be occurring. So, enough about fraud, but it does happen, can happen to you. Please take the right measures to prevent that from happening to you. The second thing I have is to look at your monthly financial statements as a business owner. And you may not know all the different things that you're looking at or what you should be looking for. So, at a minimum, you should be looking at your profit and loss statement and your balance sheet. Those are 2 big ones. You should also be looking if your accountant gives you some kind of cash statement, please look at that too. But at the very least, with profit and loss and your balance sheet, the couple of things you should be looking for on those reports: your total cash, how much cash do you have, as well as your profit. What's that bottom line when all your expenses come out? Are you making a profit or are you going into the hole every single month? The next thing I have, you need to look at, the third thing, is big month over month changes. You should be able to pull your report, most reports, you should be able to pull month over month so you can see January, February, March, and April and see if there's any big changes. And then you can start to investigate, why were there big changes? Did I know this was going to happen? Can I plan for this happening in the future? Or was this a weird one off thing that won't happen again? The third piece that I have, so 3 out of 5, we're almost there, is to budget. Set your budget yearly, but look at it at least quarterly and bring in key staff members to this budgeting process so you can make good decisions as the business owner. They may know things that you either forgot or didn't really realize because they're in a different facet and aspect of your business than you might be. And by bringing your staff into the budgeting process, you get buy-in. So when they see this brand new piece of shiny something that they want to buy, instead of being upset when you tell them no, if you did the budgeting process with them, then they know, okay, we don't have money to buy a bunch of office supplies this year because we are trying to do this instead. And always include some buffer in your budget for anything unknown that might pop up, because something is surely going to pop up at some point. And the last piece I have under budget is to run a monthly budgets versus actuals. So your monthly budget versus actuals is going to show you how you're doing, budget versus actuals, and give you a good idea what you need to shift or change in your budget, if anything, or shift and change in your spending. The fourth tip I have is to automate what you can. So you can automate a lot of accounting tasks. Maybe you have a great bookkeeper who's already automating things for you. Maybe you're doing the bookkeeping yourself and you don't have someone to automate these things for you, but you can automate bill pay to a point. Bill pay, you don't have to handwrite checks to vendors. You can set them up so they can be paid via ACH and all these other options. There's a lot of options out there for bill pay, so you don't have to pay vendors by hand. You can use softwares like QuickBooks Online that will pull in your data from the bank, and you can set up bank rules that will categorize all those transactions for you, so you don't have to manually key in every transaction into your accounting software system anymore. You can also save any custom reports you like to see, so you don't have to keep customizing the same report every month. You can digitize your transactions as well, so you don't have a bunch of paper sitting around that you're trying to then look back through later to find documents. Get it in the computer system and use the search feature in wherever you're storing those documents to help you find things faster. The last thing that I have is, the fifth thing is to set goals and a strategy with finance. So use finance to create your goals and strategy for your business. Finance shouldn't be a separate silo. It shouldn't be the red-headed stepchild. Finance incorporates into everything. It incorporates across every department and everything that you do. So have those hard conversations with key employees about money and finances and really get on the same page and have it help you take your business to the next level. So, quick summary of the 5 things that I talked about: protect your assets from fraud, using internal controls and review them regularly. Look at your monthly reports. You're really looking for cash, profit, and any big monthly differences. Budget, look at it do it yearly, but look at it regularly. Automate mundane accounting tasks. Don't do things by hand anymore. And then set goals and a strategy with finance. So I will say these are things that I can help you with. If you ever need help with whether it's a one-time consult, a yearly review, monthly help, whatever you think you might need, please feel free to reach out to me on right here, YouTube. I'm also on LinkedIn, or you can shoot me an email.